Hello, my name is Kathie J, and welcome to the Kathie J Show. Today, it's about you achieving your dreams. It's time to level up and speak up for yourself. Please welcome my guest to the Kathie J Show. This is Jamie McKinney. Yay! Jamie is the author of Speak Up Sister. You also are a motivational speaker. You just got back from Mexico. You spoke to over 1,000 people.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, Jamie.
Thank you. A day with Kathie J is a better day. So I'm so excited to be here and join you again. This is great.
I know. Yes, this is our second time. First time on TV. Now we're doing it digitally. You are amazing, and you changed my life the first time you came around. So now I want your magic to go to everybody else.
Let's do
Okay. All right. Let's do it. So first off, let's start with your background. You've worked for the top Fortune 500 companies. You've done all that. Your career was in male-dominated fields, and you had to learn to speak up for yourself.
I did.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. So I started off in the automotive refinish industry.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. And
it's about as male-dominated as it could get.
it is. And whatever level of sophistication you envision automotive manufacturing to be, the refinish is a few
down
octaves
here?
below that.
Okay.
I was the third female to join a team of 400. I was the youngest by, on average, 20 years, and I had no experience in the industry. And I had a college degree.
Wow.
So if we were playing which one of these things was not like the others, that
It's
was
you.
That was me
Yeah.
on multiple levels. And I didn't know any different or any better. I mean, my mom was a teacher, my dad was a firefighter. I just came into the business world thinking, well, this is how it is.
Right.
And I also didn't realize that not everybody wasn't like me.
Right.
And so I went in with my big bubbly personality and just, ready to learn. And it was met with a lot of,
Oh, for sure. Right.
what? Who's
this girl? Right.
Right. And especially
Is
when...
she getting us coffee? Why is this girl here?
Yeah,
right.
Is she her predecessor's granddaughter? I got that one a lot.
Right. Who are
Bob's
you related
granddaughter?
to?
I was like, no, I'm Mike's granddaughter. Don't think you've met him. But I learned, and then when they also, started doing the math with the college degree, that I was being groomed to move up and could potentially be their boss. That came with a lot of, I'll just air quote, shenanigans. And I figured out early on that, well, I was going to be in this situation for a while. It was going to be a long time before my experience even got close to catching up to what they had.
For sure.
I was never going to be the most male in the room or the one with the deepest voice.
Right. Or the one that knew the cars the best.
No,
or right.
Definitely not. But I came with leadership skills, and I came with, some things that my college degree had provided and some other things. And they said, well, we're going to teach you our way so that you know the industry. And then, we've got big plans for you. So I said, okay. But what they didn't teach me was some of the soft skills. And I prefer the term professional skills. Soft skills, I think, just reminds me of that dead fish handshake.
I'm with
right?
you. Right.
So
you mean the skills to really survive through the day-to-day activities of corporate America.
Well, and not just to survive, but to thrive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because the knowledge will take you so far.
Yep.
But until that knowledge is layered with the ability to speak it and to communicate it, part of it stays stranded in here.
Yeah.
And, we spend all this money on college educations and master's degrees, but if we don't simultaneously layer that information with the professional skills to help you channel your voice and be heard, it's like part of that investment goes to waste. So I figured out that confidence works almost identically to a muscle.
Okay.
We're all born with confidence. There is a confidence gene, just like we're all born with biceps.
Really?
Right? And just like a bicep, you get to choose
If you're working it or
if
not.
you're working it or not, right? And even if you decide not to work it, it'll never go away.
Right.
But when you're intentional about flexing it and strengthening it, it grows. And you can do that same thing with your confidence, especially, and even if you're not the most experienced, the oldest one, any of those. Like,
Right.
take out all the superlatives and carrying yourself with confidence. And there's a big parallel there with curiosity. You can not just survive, but you can thrive in any meeting.
We're speaking today with Jamie McKinney. She is the author of Speak Up Sister. Now, Jamie, you're talking about confidence. Sometimes confidence is ego. Sometimes, tell me where the difference is, how you know you're truly in confidence versus just an ego narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are all over everywhere.
We're going to talk about narcissists
yes,
today.
Yes, we want to live in the shoes of confidence.
Okay, so let's talk about the etymology of the word confidence. So confidence is con plus fidelis, which con is with, and fidelis means faith or belief.
Huh.
There you go. Fun fact. Fun
Right.
fact for the day. So it means with a belief in yourself. Now, when you use that belief and essentially use your powers for good, not evil, that's not saying I know how to do everything, but it's saying I have a belief in myself that I can give this a shot. I have a belief in myself that I can give this a try. I have a belief in myself that progress is the goal over perfection, because perfection is like this dystopia, right?
And it's not, you can't get there.
No. Arrogance or ego is having a same belief in those strengths, but there's also this implication that in applying that strength, I am somehow superior to you. That makes me better than you.
Right.
Whereas confidence says, no, this doesn't make me any more or less valuable than you. This means I have a strength. It's unique to me. I own this strength. I'm going to use this strength for my benefit and for yours.
Right. And you just, okay, yes. And I felt the difference when you were, the words you used, Jamie, I felt the difference.
Good.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite. We are vibrating. So here's one of my things is Jamie hates, she can't stand, because I am always stepping over my words. I'm very emotional. My horoscope sign is a Cancer, so I have hit landmines in the male-dominated world of radio my entire career because I'd be too emotional somewhere or something like that, but I'd be passionate. But passionate is not needed in the workplace. Explain, if you could, to the women, because you have a whole chapter about get your emotions. Don't get offended. Don't, there is a lot happening and you have to act kind of like a guy. And I don't know how else to say it. It's kind of like you need to not care. You need to take your emotions out of it. You need to stay on business. Like, if you could help us that might be a little bit more emotional control ourselves when we are in the workplace.
Okay. So let's level set first with the emotions.
Okay.
Because you need to act like you.
I get that, but when I've done that, it fails.
Okay, so that could mean that you've crossed over into the chasm of emotional hijacking.
Okay.
And when you or a man or anyone who's done that, we're not able to access the logical part of our brain.
Right.
So there's two. Do you want some good acronyms to help remember
do
this?
It.
Okay, two of my favorite acronyms. So one, let's first separate what we can control versus what we can't.
Right.
Because we spin out our energy. It's like our energy just goes through a sieve when we're continuously putting our energy into the things that we can't control.
Right.
I did a lot of that early on in my career before I knew any better or any different. Right?
And the things we can't control would be how our boss feels about us, blah, 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 what we're what we're wasting our brain spinning about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I leave a meeting and I'm so irritated because Greg has talked over me again. He's undermined me again. He's made that little jab. I waste the rest of my day being
mad
irritated
at Greg.
Yes. When I have zero control over that. So what I learned though is when I can focus on when I can shift my focus to what I can control versus what I can't, I use my energy much more efficiently. And raise your hand if you like to use your energy more efficiently.
I want to use all that energy.
All of them.
Right.
So the ETA, or excuse me, the acronym, I just gave it away, is ETA. So you know ETA when you're traveling.
Yes, my ETA, I'll see you at 1:45, right?
Time of arrival, right? Think about it in these terms: emotions, thoughts, and actions.
Okay, I gotcha.
We all have individual control. We have agency over our own emotions, thoughts, and actions. No one else's. We have influence, sure, but we do not have control. I don't have control over Greg's. I don't have control over yours.
Right.
We're talking about kiddos in the elevator. We don't have control over theirs.
No, right.
So when you can start to separate that, it gives you this power to say, okay, wait, so if I can't control Greg, but I can control me, what does that look like? Well, when I go into the meeting, I can come prepared with some sound bites.
Yes.
Right? I can come prepared with a mantra of, I'm going to be present in this meeting instead of trying to prove myself.
Right.
I can pause and I can take a deep breath before I respond to Greg. I can connect with an ally or somebody else who I know is going to be in that meeting and say, hey, could you help me out? If this situation comes up again, do you mind just having my back? And it doesn't necessarily even mean you agree, but it's speaking up to say, I can see Jamie's point in that. I can see where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So notice those are all things that I have control over.
Yes, those are all things in your arsenal to help you and keep you from getting emotional.
Yes.
And showing that card.
100%. And then, it's so interesting because in those environments, it's identical to dealing with a bully, right? The way a bully works is the bully does something and they're expecting to get a reaction out of it.
Right.
And when they get that reaction, there's a hit of dopamine that they get. And so they go, I'm going to do that again because that felt good.
Yeah.
Right. And they don't articulate it quite that clearly. But this is all what's happening in the background, right? Because we feel more than we think, essentially. Well, when that bully doesn't get that same hit of dopamine, or doesn't get that same reaction or response out of you, it's essentially like that fire dies down. Like you didn't just breathe oxygen into the fire. So it truly will shift the other person's behavior.
Yeah, that's huge to know because so many of us have someone in our workplace that is either for whatever reason preventing us, not letting us up off their finger, something. And so you're now saying it's up to us to stop thinking about that person or any of that crap and pull it all back to you and how can I be better for the next time?
Yes. And so now let's tie that into emotions.
Okay.
Because emotions are something that we all have.
Yes.
And something I found fascinating, I took a neuroscience coaching certification course recently. It's a mouthful. And there were 12 different modules, brain basics, how we learn, how we're motivated, how we memory works. And there was one module on emotions. Guess which module had the most material in it?
The emotions?
The one about emotions. And this wasn't neuroscience for women, and it wasn't neuroscience for children. It was just neuroscience. Okay, so with emotions, I've got another acronym for it.
Okay, go for it.
We all experience emotions.
Yes.
And the way they travel through our brain is we feel before the thought comes. So when you start to feel the emotion bubble up, when you start to feel it, I like to think of this acronym. It's BAM, right? That's easy to remember, BAM.
Yeah, because that's how it feels when the emotion's coming. Like, bam, you're about to say something you don't want to say, Kathie.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You got to reel it in.
Bam, it's about to happen.
The BAM is about to happen.
Okay.
So first step in BAM is when you start to feel it. The B stands for breathe.
Breathe. Shut up.
Take that deep breath. And the breath is about more than just an oxygen carbon dioxide exchange. It's literally helping to reset your nervous system, which means you're still accessing the logical part of your brain. Because when we go into emotional hijack, it's almost like you're unlocking doors in your brain.
Really, you are. You feel it. All of a sudden, stuff is starting to pile that you're like, slow it down.
Yes.
What's happening?
And that door, essentially like the vault to your logical thinking, locks when you go into emotional hijack.
Yeah.
Right?
We've all seen YouTube. We've all seen viral videos of it.
100%, right? And there's a reason they go viral because everybody wants to watch that, but we don't want you to be the one who's watched.
No.
At least not for that reason. So first step, breathe. It's your level setting. Second, this is a double A. So the double A now is assess accurately what's happening.
Right, okay.
Assess accurately. And what that means is focus on the facts in the moment, not the story.
Right, like, is he really attacking me or is he just are we just discussing what's happening right now?
I'm going to keep using the name Greg.
Please do. That's fine.
It has a personal association from years ago.
I would say a name, but people would know it. So I'm glad you're saying we're going with Greg.
So did Greg wake up this morning and
just say, I want to hit, yes.
How am I going to ruin? Absolutely not.
How am I going to ruin Jamie's day today? No. Greg could care less.
Greg could care less. And the other part of this, too, is that Greg is acting from his life experience, which has nothing to do with me. And oftentimes when people have bad behavior, you're not born with that. I mean, that's compiled over insecurities, over fears, over a lot of things that would probably benefit Greg to unpack at some point, but that's not your job.
Right.
And that's not my job.
Right.
So in the accurate assessment, what that might sound like is instead of I'm being attacked personally or I'm not being listened to, it's, Greg and I were not aligned in our thinking. Or he didn't hear me the first time that I said that. So I should probably say it again. Maybe I should say it in a different way. Maybe I should take that deep breath and ensure that my voice has an even tone, has an even volume, has an even pitch.
Yes.
So that I'm heard. And that doesn't mean you have to be the deepest voice in the room, but
or the loudest, right?
Or the loudest, but you do need to be a consistent one. So that accurate assessment is really important because our brain, when we start to go into that emotional hijack, we love to tell stories.
Yes.
And we get really creative. And storytelling is definitely a skill, right? But this is not the time you want to deploy it.
Okay, right.
So almost think about it like put on your investigative reporter hat, and if you had to prove something, if you had to prove a fact in the moment, what would it be?
Okay.
Focus on that.
Okay.
That is going to help you stay in the logical part of your brain and not get emotionally hijacked. That double A, if accurate assessment doesn't stick with you, you can also think avoid assumptions.
Avoid assumptions is huge.
Either one of those.
Because that's immediately what's happening is your insecurity is making assumptions start rattling.
100%.
We're speaking today with Jamie McKinney. She is the author of Speak Up Sister, excuse me. She's also motivational speaker. She has also helped people. I mean, like with your help, I read something like over $500,000 in raises and stuff that these people have gotten.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all of them. But it is about how you approach the situation as an employee, and in those meetings, it's about the language. You are big on language being spit spot. Explain that. Why?
So the language starts with thoughts. Thoughts become things.
Yeah.
Right. Thoughts. There's electrical impulses that generate our thoughts.
Right.
And the energy that we put into certain thoughts, that energy gets bigger.
Yep.
Right. What we focus on expands.
So if you're going on assumptions, you're expanding the assumptions. You're going the wrong way. It's that easy. Okay, so Jamie, let's talk about about this is one of the things I love that you talk about, your truth to power phrase.
Yes.
Let's go there.
So, what I wanted to this is.
I'm sorry. Finish.
No. Well, we need the M for BAM.
Oh yeah, bam.
So we've got breathe, accurate assessment, and then move on. Like just take that next step, move on, change your mental channel, switch to something else, move on. And quick success story with this, I have a woman named Grace, and she was talked over in a meeting, and she said, I felt the angst build up, Jamie. She said, but then she goes, I thought, no. Let me take that deep breath. What's happening is, okay, he was not happy about the pace of this meeting. Had nothing to do with me. She goes, and I moved on. She goes, and I left that meeting, and I was so excited. I called my best friend. I told her all about it. And she said, and I was productive for the rest of the day.
That's awesome.
So that is the beauty of BAM. Just try it out. It's surprisingly
breathe,
simple.
Avoid assumption, move on.
Move on. You
yes.
got it. Okay. All right. So back to speaking truth to power.
Yeah.
Yes. So speaking truth to power, I don't own this phrase, but I do talk about it a lot. That when we're speaking our truth to power, and power is people in authority, people who are above you in the company, your boss, your leader. There's consequences to speaking truth to power. There's also consequences to not speak truth to power.
Yes.
So should we start with a good example?
Yes,
of what
please.
happens?
The good example.
The good example of when you speak truth to power. So I work with a woman. She's the senior vice president. So she's decades in her career, very well respected. She was promised a bonus based on performance metrics. She hit those performance metrics, and she said, "Time for the bonus." And they said, "Oh no, we restructured." Now, this was not a mailbox money bonus. This was a significant, you could argue life-changing.
Yeah.
Six-figure bonus.
Yeah, that's huge.
So she and I had a couple sessions to craft her conversation, and she had 2 different meetings, and she got her bonus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
But she had to choose her words wisely and maintain her cool.
Like you should always do, right?
I know. Well, you try.
but that's where this preparation comes into play.
You're right.
And this is one of those things, like when it's important like this, and it's also real. We are human, right? We feel before we think. So know that controlling your emotions or making effort to do that is not a weakness. That's a strength, because it's awareness that if you don't do that, your emotions are gonna be like, hey, I'm in the driver's seat, and you might like where we're going, and you might not.
Right. It's funny to me because I do feel that, unfortunately, women can get more emotional in the workplace, and it's taken me a long time to learn not to be that girl anymore. But there's been times when I cried and made people uncomfortable, and I've learned over the years that there is a way that you handle yourself. I do feel, though, like I feel that it's acceptable for men if they want to have bad attitudes, if they're bad with people. Like, it's okay for a man to have whatever personality he has as long as he is results driven. But when it comes to women, you cannot have any personality, even if you are results driven. Why is that?
That's
right.
Where do we want to go with this one?
It's literally just about, for some reason, men. It's acceptable. You can be horrible with people, but if you have numbers, you're good. Whereas if a woman is a little bit, it's like now she's a problem. Why is that perceived like that?
So there's a variety
so
of
many ways.
That we could go. There's double standards, there's double binds, there's patriarchy. I remember early in automotive, a man slams the door and it was like, oh, well, John was having a bad day.
Yeah,
Woman
totally.
does it, and there's all kinds
What's
of
wrong with, oh my God, Jamie was slamming a door. Right.
emotions, cycles,
Yes.
right? All those
All
things.
that starts falling out.
I can.
That was a wrong word. All of that gets said.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
So I can't speak to the global response to this, but in my experience, what I found is that when I control my emotion, I stay in a clear head. And I want my clear head so that I can communicate logically, because even if I want to be the one who has a reputation for being calm and cool-headed.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the definition of executive presence, is calm under pressure. And that's what other people gravitate toward.
Yes.
Leaders who are calm under pressure. So I almost saw it as a practice ground that when I'm getting emotional, okay, use this as an opportunity to practice, because ultimately the one who is either going to benefit or suffer from this is me.
Right.
So again, it's back to that ETA, what you have control over,
right,
versus what you don't.
Because it wouldn't do me any good to get mad at a fellow employee for, well, they get to do that and they get to do that, because my focus is now on them. It hasn't so I need to let them do whatever they want to do. Eventually, whatever will happen with them, I need to, it all goes back to you.
Yes.
When you feel out of control, go back to you and say, what can I do differently?
Yes. Yes. What can I learn from this?
Yeah.
And do I want to do something differently?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Because that's ultimately up to you too. And that has to do with company culture. I mean, there's some company cultures where it's more acceptable to that. And I also saw, because I did work with, I can think of two examples in particular, females who are very emotional and very loud and like the slamming the doors and all the things, but they owned it. And they were unapologetic for it. And so
they went the other way.
Yeah. So
but if that workplace allows it, if that's where they grew, right?
And where I would challenge that is that I don't know that it was so much the workplace as much as just each of them owned it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't eat my pizza like that. I don't know if I could be around somebody emotional every day. Like I couldn't, but.
And that's where it starts to filter, right? And that's where it speaks to what's a culture where you're comfortable and where you can thrive.
Yes, I'm glad you just said that. So I asked the listeners and our, on social, like, do you have any questions for Jamie? And one of them said, that their culture at their job, they love their job, but at their culture, if they speak up, they're considered that they are not team players. And speaking up could even be, like they would like something different. It was library, but they would like, different, I don't know, it was more classes or stuff like that. And they weren't being a team player because they were, and so what do you say to that when the upper people say you speak up, you're not a team player?
I would say you've really got to think about your values alignment, and is this a place where you can thrive long term?
Okay.
And I'll speak to my own example on this, and the lie that I told myself when I was in what I didn't fully admit at the time was a toxic environment, was speaking up had negative consequences.
Yes.
And I would leave feeling very downplayed and demeaned. And I later learned that, and I did not cry at work, but I did sometimes when I got at home.
Yeah.
And I later learned that men at the company did that too, went home and cried.
Did they?
That's how toxic it was. Yes.
What?
So
that's a tough business you were in.
Yes, it was tough. And I was getting compensated very well. I had more disposable income than I had ever had. And the lie that I told myself, and you're going to hear how wacky this sounds when I say it right now, but this is evidence of being emotionally hijacked. The lie I told myself was, well, I really enjoy this compensation that I'm making and the things that I can do with it, so I'll just spend my extra money on therapy and spa treatments.
I might have also been that kind of logic. That's good. That sounds good to me. Did it work?
Right? Well, no, of course it doesn't work.
Darn it.
But it's the lie that you tell yourself, because think about when you're emotionally hijacked, which I can see so clearly now, right, when I'm on the outside of it, but I couldn't see it when I was in it. And I had somebody say to me the other day, one of my own coaches, I thought this is so brilliant. He said, you can't read the label from inside the bottle.
Yeah, you got to look on the outside. That's so
right?
true.
Or have somebody trusted say, hey.
You know what's happening?
You know what's happening here? And And with that, though, I can, like I said, I can hear it because the cloud over the emotion prevents you from seeing the blue sky.
Right.
Which is always up there.
Always up there.
So to the person who's continuously told, well, you're not a team player if you do this, I would really consider, is there a value alignment? And is this somewhere that you can be long-term and thrive? And that's a personal decision. Nobody can make that decision for you because you know what your budget is or what your loved ones might need. But I will tell you, it chips away and it chips away and it chips away at your self-esteem. And it makes you smaller and smaller and smaller. And that gives me goosebumps right now. And it truly makes my chest hurt. And I don't even know this person.
I can see your emotion.
I don't even know this person's name to think that would make her play small.
Right.
Because your potential is over here saying, no, please don't do this. Like this, it might be hard to go find a different job or to do something different. But in the long run, it is going to be so much harder to stay here and do so much more damage.
To yourself. Mm-hmm. Right. If she said therapy and spa treatments didn't work, then it's not going to happen. You probably had the best therapy and spa treatments too.
Right, for a minute or two, but no.
We're speaking today with Jamie McKinney. She is the author of Speak Up Sister. She's also just an inspirational, motivational speaker, telling women how to present yourself the right. I hate to even saying that word. I guess it's present yourself the right way when you show up to work.
How to present authentically.
Okay, right. Because you still because that's the message you're still saying. Mm-hmm. Speak your truth. If you're with people that don't eat pizza the way you do, see if there's another place where you can thrive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
100%.
All right. All right. So let's talk about people wanting to amplify their voice and advance their career.
Yes.
That's why they're watching you.
Yes.
Where do you suggest they start?
So I would love to have them join my community.
Yes.
And exciting announcement. I'm launching something called the Leadership Lab.
Yes, the Leadership Lab. This is cool.
fall.
So what is this? What is this experiment you're doing?
It is a culmination of 2.5 decades of experimenting with my own leadership to realize that's what leadership is. It is one big experiment no matter what phase of your career you're in. So this is a safe space to come and experiment with that. Have you ever noticed how words in your head sound differently when they come out of your mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Especially in high-stakes situations. This is a place to hear yourself say something out loud, and to not just hear yourself say it out loud, but to share it in a small and supportive environment and a community who can give you honest feedback in a place that is so uplifting and so supportive and say, hey, you know what? I loved that part, but did you notice when you said this, how your head tilted or your posture dropped or your voice dropped? And to have somebody hold up that very honest, like big sister kind of hug mirror for you so you can go, oh, no,
Yes.
I haven't realized that. And then insta-correct and feel the difference and go, okay, now I can go deploy that at work and see how it happens. Because most workplaces, at least not the ones where I was and where I've seen in a lot of the Shiros in my community, most don't have quite that safe of a container to do that.
No, you're right.
So this is a place to do that. And also because, AI can help you write an email or can help you not write.
Yes, right.
the email that you're going to hit send on. But AI cannot help you exercise your voice and flex that confidence muscle. It takes a community, it takes live interaction to do that.
And so we would be talking to women out there that, regardless of their age, they feel the drive inside of them. They know there's something more inside of them.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where they're working right now. They just need to come find you, because even the short amount of time that I spend with you, you will correct something I say. You'll be like, Kathie, your motion, like you also. It's not a refine. It is. You refine me when I'm around you, but it's for the better. So thank you.
Well, hopefully that's with invitation only, because I only coach if asked to coach. It's not, I don't just go around saying, you know what you should do. You know what you should do.
But it's fantastic because it is little things. So the people coming to you, regardless of their age, the women, it is, even if they're like not in a job where they can advance, they just know that they can do more. Come to you and you're like, we're going to find who that inner boss is and we're going to get her out there, right?
Yes. If you've ever felt like a best kept secret.
Yes.
Or if you have left a meeting with words held hostage in your head, let's talk.
Yep. Those are the girls.
Let's get those
out there.
And come out professionally with executive presence, with confidence, so that you leave that meeting going, yes.
Yes, and nail it every time.
Yes.
Right. All right. So the Leadership Laboratory, is it a 6-week? How long is this course? What is it?
So there's different tiers.
I love
that
it.
You can join.
Okay.
Join. We've got the Laboratory Essentials. We've got an Accelerator. We've got Advanced. So right now, if you go to my website, it's jamiemckinney.com/lab. Just put your information in there. It'll ask if you heard about through Kathie J, and that'll give you some extra little goodies.
Gimme!
And then more information to come starting this fall.
Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so now before I let you go, let's talk about, you got Coach of the Year. I want everybody to know that they're getting Coach of the Year when they come to you. Tell everyone what that was for and why you, and just talk about it.
Thank you. That was such a rewarding surprise. And as I was reflecting on it, I mean, the coolest thing about an award like that is that it really doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to do with the results that my sheroes and my community
for sure
generated.
Right, but you started it, Jamie.
Which is so fun. Well,
right.
I'm always very humbled by this because I fully appreciate that these were God whispers and universe nudges that got me right here. I mean, initially doing this was not my own idea. It was listening to the questions people were asking me and the advice, saying like, actually, yeah, I mean, the book was not even my idea.
It wasn't.
Not initially, no.
It's fantastic.
So to know now, like I know unequivocally, like this is why I am here on this planet. This is why I'm here on this earth. And it is so fun and rewarding to do what I do and to be the guide, right? And I often liken it to, at the end of The Wizard of Oz, when Glinda, the OG Wizard of Oz, right? When Glinda and Dorothy come together, and Glinda's like, "Oh, you just have to click your heels 3 times," and Dorothy's like, "Are you
right?
Are you kidding me?
Right.
All I had to do this whole time,
I could have gone home the whole time.
Was just click my heels 3 times." And Glinda says, "Oh, my dear, you had this in you the whole time." And that's exactly what my philosophy is. You, Kathie, our listeners, everybody, you already have this in you. It's just a matter of following the old brick road or putting yourself in the right laboratory, the right environment to peel back some of those layers and to step fully into you.
Yes. Yes.
It's already there.
Yeah, it's already there. I'm ready for it to come out. It's also about, you're always saying, that luck is being prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So before I let you go today, just tell the girls, get ready to work, but the reward is worth it.
100%.
You get to be who you are.
And it doesn't take long. I mean, this is truly, no. We have one conversation. You go deploy your newfound skill, and you can test this stuff. It works.
Your newfound skill. Yes. I love this.
This works equally as well in your personal life. It can work at the grocery checkout line. I mean, we can set up experiments for you to do where the stakes are extremely low. So you get that hit of dopamine. You get that boost of belief in yourself.
Yes. I said something and people agreed with it.
Well, if I can do that, it's like
I can do it again.
Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet, right? And that's how that momentum goes. I mean, and that's how we've gotten to this number so far this year. It's $531,000 of additional compensation ladies in my programs have their packages.
Yep. JamieMcKinney.com is where you can find Jamie. And imagine if you had the confidence to become whoever you wanted to be. Who would it be? You can get there. Don't just dream about it. You got to speak up for yourself the right way.
Yes.
The right way. Not the Kathie way. Do it the right way.
Do it the authentic way.
Do it the authentic way. And I have been authentic, but there are a lot of missteps where I felt like being authentic, emotional was the right choice, and it never was.
Well, and let's acknowledge, too, that this is progress over perfection.
Amen.
Right? We're not going to get a hit every time we get up to bat, but I admire your courage and your tenacity and your willingness to just go for it sometimes. And that's also where the supportive community is helpful to say, well, maybe next time we might do it a little bit differently. But what did you learn from this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And how did you flex your confidence muscle? I mean, you mentioned Mexico. There were a couple little stumbles that I made on that stage, but you know what? One of my mantras going onto that stage was just have fun and just keep going.
Just keep going.
And I bet if you surveyed that audience right now and said, how many times did Jamie stumble? They'd be like,
did she? Right, right. It wasn't a big deal.
No, so this is progress over perfection. That's a big one. And preparation always pays off.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you for joining us today. Please, you believe in you. I believe in you. Jamie believes in you. Get some help.
100%.
JamieMcKinney.com. Thank you, Jamie. Have a great day.
Kathie J.